What's up, everyone? Here to do Hunter x Hunter episode 100, and this week's episode was pretty simple. It had a lot of action in it for sure, but I definitely enjoyed it a lot just because we get to see Killua completely go in. I just thought that was really cool, and also we get some pretty interesting facts about the ants. So yeah, I guess I'll let you guys know what I thought about the episode and go over the main points. So the episode starts off with Knuckle and Shoot. They're planning on ambushing Cheetu, and he is so fast that they have to exactly coordinate how they're gonna catch him, and they have to be at the right place at the right time because he's so fast, and they obviously can't chase him on foot. That's not really an option. But we also get a re-explanation of Knuckles' ability, and when it comes within a certain range, it starts ticking again, but it was 100 meters, but he's so fast that I think they were saying he runs 160 kilometers per second or something crazy like that. But either way, it was just really fast, and they're waiting for him. And they notice that, or Knuckle notices, wait a minute, he diverted his direction, because I think that he can sense it because his Nen is still stuck to him, but he goes in a different direction and they're confused, and he checks the wind and everything, and he's like, wait a minute, he didn't smell us, because we forget these ants are they're advanced beings, so they can do stuff like that. But they end up finding out that, I'm not sure what his name was, but the flying ant, or yeah, it's weird to say, the flying bug ant, that's because it's weird, bug and ant, but was in the air, and he ended up warning Cheetu, and the other ant, Leo, he is just, by the way, he is so he's dumb, but it's just so funny how he really plans on being the king again. And I just thought it was interesting that Cheetu pointed that out, because he noticed that he still wanted to measle his way to the top, but we all know that probably won't happen. But a little after that scene, Leo and Cheetu were talking, and he's saying that somebody's already got an ability waiting for you, Sheepoof, and he's gonna teach it to you, but you have to help us hunt down this hunter. And that was and you also have to swear loyalty to the king, so that's the condition. And oh my gosh, this was one of the important points I wanted to bring up. So I just think it's so crazy that they're I'm a slow learner. It took me 3 days to master my Nen. Oh my gosh, it just really shows you how advanced these beings are. And me and a buddy of mine were having a discussion, and he was a little confused about well, how are they this strong? They really haven't done anything, but they're different breeds mixed into one, and it seems like they're the best parts. And most beings or animals in the wild, they have to hunt anyway, so their senses are heightened, and some of them have, or most of them have bug shells, so their skin is stronger. There's just so many factors that make them stronger than your average hunter, and it's just really interesting, and it really is catching my interest to know how strong are they going to be in full out Nen battles. I definitely want to see Knuckle versus Cheetu, because he clearly doesn't like him. Or just I don't know, top tier hunters or good hunters fighting these squad leaders, because I just wonder, with their Nen honed, how strong will they be? It just really, I don't know, it's a question I've been wondering. But after that, Neferpitou ends up telling Leo, the tiger ant, or the lion ant, that somebody's at Logtown, and that's the hunter that he told Cheetu he has to help them hunt, and he's going north of it. And right after that, we have a little scene with Gon, but this episode was definitely mostly about Killua, and he tells him, or he realizes that he's being followed, and he tells him to come out. And of course, that Carmelian ant isn't just gonna come out, but Gon just keeps going, and we go back to Killua, and the flying ant ends up spotting him and says Neferpitu's hunch was right. And I guess they're going to hunt him, and Killua ends up finding a forest, and he gets in it, and he expects for that to hide his presence, and he ends up hiding. And I just have to say, this whole scene was just so beastly, and we all know these ants aren't that strong, but still there were 8 chimera ants all attacking at one point. But for some reason, this ant could still locate Killua, and we find out a little bit later what was going on with that. But oh my gosh, it was just such a sweet scene, just seeing Killua just run through these ants like they're nothing. And I just loved the slow motion, or the point where it was like in slow-mo, and you could just see them all attacking precisely at the same time, and he still gets out of it because he's that much faster than him. I thought it was really cool. But after he takes them out, one of them, or like two of them, get away, and the one that was like on the big rolling ball, he hit his presence and he was sneaking behind it so he could take it out. And he ends up like doing some weird like bug fart in his face or whatever, and he was like, well, it's not the issue. He was like, how did he know I concealed my presence? And that ant, my gosh, like, I just have to say this also. These ants, I learned from this episode, they are so smart. Like, obviously we knew like they have somewhat of human minds, but like they are seriously so smart at times. Like the flying ant, the bug one, was just like knowing his exact locations when the sniper started just sniping him with these fleas. And it was just so interesting. He was giving him the exact coordinates of where he was at just so he could like precisely hit him, and he was not far off. And also I thought it was really interesting that we find out that Killua isn't really good at N, and I did notice there was a difference when Gon used N against Knuckle. It was a lot more, or it was a lot smoother, and it was definitely had a bigger range. But I just thought it was interesting that we learned that Killua isn't the best N user, or he really can't use N, and he can only do it 55 centimeters away. So he has to react in time to try to dodge his bullet, but we find out that he's not trying to dodge your bullet. He's just trying to see where the projectile is so he can go chase down the sniper, because he can't just obviously sit there because he needed to move. So he starts heading towards the target, and he catches up with him. And also on the way there, we find out that these bullets stop the clotting of the blood, because whenever like in real life a human being starts bleeding, like automatically your cells start working to stop the bleeding. And I guess they had some ability, these flea bullets that he had, some ability where the bleeding would not stop. So he's on the way there. And after that, we just get a little scene with the chameleon and Gon, and he's just telling him like he's not on his side. And I'm not sure. Usually I feel like you can tell, and for some reason I have a feeling that ant who's coming to Gon actually wants to help them. I think he may not like the royal guards or something. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know. In my opinion, he seemed like a pretty straightforward ant, but you never know because these things are so smart. But after that, we get back to Killua, and he catches up to the sniper, and he has a trap set up for him because he already expected it. And man, this is another beastly scene we get from Killua, and he was like, oh, it's a trap. Do you still want to go? Or do you still want to come? And oh my gosh, like I just love this about his character. Like Killua is so assertive, and he has no hesitation, as you can see. And he's like, do you want to come? As soon as he goes down, he instantly takes this guy out, and he's like, couldn't care less. Yeah, I just always love like his eyes when he's just into that mode. And then now that he's got that needle out of him that he had from his brother, like, oh man, like he seriously has no hesitation whatsoever. And we find out that it was just a host, and he was just a parasite, and he was like a weird octopus, and he was actually the gun, and that person was just a host. And that's just how the episode ends. I thought it was interesting. We definitely got a couple interesting facts, especially the fact that these freaking ants can master Nin in 3 days. Like, my gosh, clearly we know from past like situations that Nin is like not an easy power to obtain. It takes years of Nin training to like have a strong ability and be able to master it. These guys are in a matter of days. Like, it just really amazes me. And also the whole Killua scene, that was really cool too. And just seeing how he really wasn't like like that good at Nin. And yeah, it was just an interesting episode. It wasn't like the greatest. We didn't get in too many epic moments, but I definitely really enjoyed the whole scene with Killua and what went on with that. But yeah, that's all I have. Let me know what you guys think, and thanks.